I'm going to take you through mail merging. Mail merging question that you did. The question was about reopen an F2UF dot ODS in your spreadsheet application. That is the source file that you were given. Then the workbook contains data on customers and orders for a fast food delivery service. Examine each worksheet. So the customer worksheet, it has a list of all the customers that have ever used the service. So that means there are more than the people that you need because there are those that have ever had an account. So even if they currently have an account or not, they are listed there. So that means you are supposed to do a cleanup, delete all the data that is that the records that do not have an account currently. So the April orders is a worksheet that will also list all the orders placed by the account holder in April only. The first quarter is a worksheet that shows a list of account holder payments for January to March. Those who are paid between January to March and they have it cleared or not cleared, they are shown in the first quarter accounts. So from here, that means you need to know those who have cleared and those who have not cleared by March. Then you are required to merge the letter to account holders, giving details of the amount each one owes. Examine the mail match template. There is a template that you are given that is as a source file to determine what data that you will need in order to complete the match. So you need to use the database to generate. Remember, in mail merging, we agreed that you can do using a Word document as a data source using tables. You can do tables there, or you can do spreadsheets. You can do databases. But in this question is very specific. Yes, the data source is a spreadsheet, but you cannot use that spreadsheet even if you refine it. You cannot use it to do a mail match. You are supposed to do a database. So in this database, that's what you are supposed to use to do a mail match. So name the database. You've been told how to name the database. You have been given the word, the whatever to use to call the database. Then followed by your center number, that is, and the candidate number. Then from there, that's the content of the letter, and it's also appearing in the data source that you're given. Then you're told how even to save the merge document. Save the merge document as F2 merge document. So the last one that you do, the merge document, that is how you'll call it, followed by your center and candidate number. Mail merge, so you'll have that the merge document, this is the name that you call it. And the letters, the individual letters, you'll have those that have paid. Save the that is merge the letters to only those customers who have not paid their match bill. Those only that have not cleared the match bill. Only. Then you call it match letters. And you are also told to do another one. So you shall have made a template, which is the F2UF match document. In this template is the one that you use to have these letters and to have also these letters for April. For those who have who have a balance of at least $300. That is customers whose total April is more than 300. So those who have a balance of at least 300 and above, they should be sent letters so that they can clear. So that is it's a condition. So in this case, we shall use the rules. That is the if else. And you agree how we said you can use Control F9 so that you put the brackets and do the rules there if, or you just go to the rules in mail match. In mail match, these rules, when I start the mail match process, the rules will be activated. So I can use that rules. I'll find if else, then put the messages there. Then it will be automatic. You know, we are automating the process of sending letters. Uh, so I'll go straight into the data source file. And the source file I start with is the one that you are given, F2UF, this source file. If you haven't, you open it, you'll be able to find this is what you were given. So this is what is there. So you like the account holders, there are several, but only the Y are those that are account holders currently. So the rest are one's account holders, but they are not account holders for now. So you need to do away with them. So the first thing you want to do is you want to highlight, and then you just create, not create, but you sort out A to Z, so that you have, or you expand, so that you have all those that are account holders here. The rest are not account holders, you do away with them, you are not interested with them. The rest are not account holders, you are not interested with them, so you do away with them. Up to that, you delete. So you delete that because you're not interested with that because they're not account holders. So in these account holders, that is one. I can save as this my file so that it is in the format that I need. I need the format of a spreadsheet file. So if I go to save as, I can call it F2F merge. I can call it a good name that. So I'll save it in my folder. I call that F2F the way it was, but I add match. This is the one I'm going to use, F2F match. So I need it in the format that is not the open one, not the ODE, but I need the Excel workbook, the normal Excel workbook I save. So I've already saved us. Then I check what else. This data now is okay. I also check this one. I see what is missing there. Like I can do that. That is okay. This is for, remember, Acre did several orders here. I will do a sum. I'll do a sum for Acre so that I get the sum April, the sum owed by April, just as one thing. Sum owed by April as one thing, so that like this one will be able to be added, the three of them. BAUS will be added if there is another one. Not that. So that one will be done later in database. I think it is better in database. So I go to first quarter. That's why you have been told to do a database. So I will need another one here that can be able to show the status, or you can call it match paid. I can call it match paid. Let me use capital M. I can call it match underscore paid. Paid. Does this person Eka has she or he paid the match or not? According to the key given, this is paid. So it is, you can use P to mean paid. If I use P to mean paid, U to mean unpaid. So that means I can decide to do P all of them, so that because there are many, if I do P all of them, and the rest I just change to U. I've done P all of them. Good. Then I change here to a U. I've used a capital U and a capital P, of course. A capital U and a capital P. I go this one and that one. A capital U. Those who have not paid by March, there are this one. There are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 people who have not paid by March, who have not cleared January up to March fees. So you delete this one because you no longer need it. So that when importing tables, importing for tables, it will not give you issues. You'll be able to import easily. So you just delete this. You delete those cells. Delete. Delete entire row. Good. So you can control S so that now it is saved. So those are some of the cleaning you were supposed to do for this one. I don't think there is another thing that is needed to be done. That is the match you could have done. Then customers, it's okay. So I'm going to import and now make the what? Control S. I go now to a database. I can create a database here. Right click in the same database. I mean the same folder. In the same folder, it is easier if you do it from one folder. Microsoft database, you name it as you have been told. In the question, you have been told to name it as what? the database, you've been told to create a database and name the database as this. So followed by your center number and the account. You've been told to name it that way, followed by center number, control V, followed by I can call it 1254. That is my account 1254. That means that is my center number and candidate name, candidate number. So I open it. Then I go to external, news data source. I use new data source. I use Excel because that's what I've done. I come here and browse. When I browse, I go to desktop so that I go specific to that folder. The folder I was using is MailMatch. I called it MailMatch exam. I called the folder MailMatch exam, this one. So if I go there, I use the one that we did together is F2UF match. So if I use that F2U match, then I click OK here. So I will have to import all these three. So the first one to import is the customers, second is April, and so first of all, let me import this one. I go to next. I want the first row contains column heading. It is true, it contains that. I go to next. Then this one I can use custom ID as the primary key. I go that, I do a primary key. I use custom ID, that is okay. I go next. I call it customers, I finish. And then I close this one. So we shall have that table. That is the first table that you have for all of them. So that is the table that you have for all of them. I can do another table that is new. That is you import still from Excel. Now you do the second one, browse, is the same. F2U, match, open. I click OK. After clicking OK, I now choose the April orders. April orders, you can see Eka, so it has no primary key because there is repetition. So I go to next. First row contains, you just tick, it contains yes. I go to next. But in this case, I choose no primary key because there is a repetition. Then I save it as such. Then I click finish. I close this one. So I have the second one. The third one now is the last one. File. That one I choose. I choose from that. I click OK. I go to open that is. I click OK. I choose it. The first quarter. I go to next. First row contains it is true, and then I go to next. I use custom ID because they are different. Custom ID, they are different. I choose custom ID, that is correct. Next, I finish. So I close. So I have three tables. According to the question, you were told you were able to see, if you look at April orders here, you can see this Eka. Eka has many what? Three orders. So we need to know the sum that he owes the company in April alone. So we also need to know the sum for DHOW, IBLA. We need to know the sum for each. So the best thing to do for that is to create a query. Of course, you can do it in a table, but it may be tedious. A query is easier for you. So I can easily create a query. I go to create a query design. I remember I'm doing from April that. Then I need only the customer ID and the amount. Those are the only two things I need for this. So I will call it sum. So I need to do the sum totals, that is group by. Then you select what? April odd group by sum. I select sum. So if you run this, if I run this, you'll be able to see like Eka. If you open the other one, it was Eka here. Like if I open this one, you can see Eka, the three of them. If you add 25 plus 141 plus 45, you'll be able to see the answer should be 212. So that is for what? The sum for April. So you can save this April sum as your what? Your query as April, sum of April. You can call it sum of April as your query. So I'll save it sum of April the way it is here. Sum of April as your query. So if I close it or control S, whichever, control S to mean I want to save, you call it sum of April, sum of April. That is your query is called sum of April query. So I can now close it. Then I need, because for me to get the data source, I need a data source, and the data source contains what? So you go to your question that you have been told. The one that you are supposed to use is this one. So if you open this one, the data source you are supposed to use, just a minute. I get data source. Okay, let me get the correct data source from. Let me get the correct data source in a minute. Correct data source. If I copy, no, this one. If I copy from here, let me just copy. Control C. I'll just replace. I come here and Control V. Can replace now. Now this one is correct. This is the source, data source that good. It looks here. Insert date here. You're supposed to insert the date here. Insert title, name, surname, fields here. Insert address fields here. That is the first one field per line. Then you also insert what you're asked to. You also need the custom ID. You also, all those fields that you require, you can write them down so that you make a data source in form of a query in that case. Then there is insert total amount owed in April, and insert the amount owed for April. Then insert total amount owed here. So what does this mean? Is that for this, that is for those, there is an if, because there is rules here, that your March account, somebody who has cleared the March up to March, then it is showing only the April owed. But those who have not cleared, it will show the March plus the April. It will show the March, the April, and the total. So, but for those who have only, according to the question, if you read here, your April bill, that is if you don't have March, it will only be able to show the April. So you use the if else. So you understand what you require for your database, for your data source. So I go to, let me minimize this because I'll be using it. I go here to my, so I need, I've done this query. I need a relationship so that I create now a data source from them. So data tools, relationships. I need the relationships of the customers. I need the relationships for, there's no need for every order because I use that query that is showing the amount for April. So this one is needed, and the query, sum of April. So I'll do a relationship. If I do the relationship, I can enforce that. I create, I do this. I'll not be able to enforce referential integrity because it doesn't have even a primary key. Whichever, just arranging them. It doesn't matter. That's an arrange control as I save, then I close. The relationship is there. So from there, I need to create now a query that will have all the information that I've been told to do. So I need to create, which will be my data source. The query I call it query design. I do query design. Then I need the query will have first quarter, will have that, it will have customers, and it will have from this query. So that is what will be contained in my query. Then I need custom ID, I need the title, I need the forename, I need the middle name. The initial it's not even needed, by the way, from the question. So I can leave it out. There's no need. I don't need it. So I untick here because I don't need it according to the question. Just take only what you need. So middle I don't, surname I need. You double click, of course. The street I need, according to the question. The area I need. So you follow the question and the postal code I need. Account holder I don't need. Yes or no, I don't need it. There's nowhere I'll be asked whether they are account holders or not. Account holders were assisting me to know, but I need I need the January sum. I don't even need the January sum and the February sum, but I was required about the March and the March sum. Of course, this one March paid, I'll need it for the query to show the March paid. I'll need it. So what else do I need? I also need sum of April. Sum of April, I need it. So when you come here, this is what I need as per the question. So what I'll do, I need to do now the total. I need to do total. So I can call it total amount paid. Total amount paid. So that the total amount paid, let me go to builder. Builder, I use it. Total amount paid, colon. So if it is an if function, we write IIF. If what we call the March paid, if March paid I've written is M capital, that's underscore, the same way you have written here. You must write it that same way. Paid, if March paid equals to N, if March paid equals to N, comma, if March paid equals to N, the N must be in quotes, equals to in quotes, N. If March paid equals to N, comma, then if it is N, in this case I use to you, not N, I use to you capital unpaid equals to U, that is unpaid. If March paid is unpaid, then we will have March sum plus sum of April owed. We will have March sum, so you write exactly how you've written there. March underscore sum, a capital S, March sum plus sum of April owed. That is sum of exactly how you've written it. April, sum of April underscore owed underscore sum of April owed. Owed is capital O. Make sure you write exactly how you've written, capital O. Good. It is that, otherwise, comma, otherwise it should be just the sum of April owed. If that is, if it is P, which is paid in this case, then it should be just this one. It's either sum of April owed or Control C, or otherwise it becomes Control V. It comes that. So if I click, I cross a bracket because I opened the bracket for if, I cross the bracket, I click OK. It will adjust for me. The formula will adjust. If you check the formula again, let me check for you so that you see what happens. It has adjusted to have the what? These brackets. You can do the brackets from the word go or it will do it for you. So you can see how it looks like. You see how it looks like. Remember, if I did not put the U here, then it could have put this bracket. So that means it could recognize it as a what? It could recognize it as a value. And if it recognizes as a value, it will have parameter issue. It will ask you to enter that parameter U for you to be able to see the query, for it to run. Okay, let me try it for you so that you see what I mean. If I run, if I just write U, it will ask me the parameter, it will have a parameter issue. So if I click OK, let me save it and run it so that you see what I mean. If I run it, it asks me of parameter. I press that U, I press, of course, I'll be able to see after putting the parameter, it has recognized it as a value. So the total amount you can see, if it's a P, if it's a U, it will be able to add 53 plus 54, which is 117. But even if it has added, it has done the work, but it has parameter issue. Let me save. Yes, I call it. I said I'm calling it as a data source. I can call it data source query. Now let me right click data source, design view, so that I go back to, I do it the right way. I just wanted to show you because those are mistakes that students do. When you just enter that design view, so that I correct the total amount. Go to builder. Yes, this U, it put the brackets like I was telling you. But if you, it was under just the what? Under quotes only, it will treat it as a text. But the way it was, it was treated as a value, and therefore it had to put those brackets. So I click OK. Now if I run it now, you will not see it asking for parameter. There is no parameter issues. So Control S, I can close it. Then I now have everything correct. So I can close this database because I'm now going to use it as per the question. I go now back to the question. I go now back to the question data source. I go to data file. I'm inserting the dates here. So come here, go to insert. I'm inserting dates. Mine is appearing here in my just dates, date and time. That one I click, make sure this one is ticked to automatically change it anytime. Like today is on, if it's today is 24th, then it will show 24th. If I open it tomorrow, it will show 25th. So that's why we have to tick this one. So for automatic, all that. So you can see it has moved that. I can press enter. You can decide. You can decide to go to files because you need this one to appear in the to at least to see the codes. And it's always good to see the codes for you to be able to work. There are two ways of doing it. There are two ways of doing it. There are two ways of doing that. You can go to file, you go to options so that you see the codes. You go to advanced. Under advanced, you check what we call under advanced. You check what we call. Let me see that show field codes instead of values. If you tick this, it will work. But usually I don't. You see how it is appearing. Usually I don't like doing it because you will forget at the end. Because at the end you need to remove it, but you can have it there. But there is another short way of doing it. If I can go and undo, let me go and undo so that I show you the short way of doing it. Because you need to be showing the code so that you are able to work on the code. So you can go to that was advanced. Then it was here show feed codes. So I do away with it. I undo. You see, but you can if I press Control A, then Shift F9. I'll be able, this one I'll be doing end time. I'll be able to see still the same codes. So I think that is the easiest and the one that will not stress you. So you do that. I need to insert what? The title. So first of all, before that, I was supposed to go to mailing and then select the recipients, use existing, so that you select from the file that I'm using. The file that I'm using is in the desktop, the folder desktop, then mail merge exam. I called it mail merge exam. Mail merge exam. So under mail merge exam, I'm using now the second one that I did, this one. You open it, then that's data source I want to use because data source is the one that now has everything that I needed for mail matching. So I need to insert here the title, the forename, and the surname. Title, forename, and surname. So I go here, I click title, and let me press enter so that that one was down, but that one is this one space supposed to be in the same line. Title, forename, space, and the surname on the same line, and the surname. That's what you were asked to do. Then this other line, they are all the addresses in separate lines. So that's what you have been asked, all the addresses in separate line. So we start with the street address, enter to go to the next line, and then you do area, enter to go to the next line, and you also insert postal code. You can enter, that is what I'm needed to do. Then I also need insert phoneme here, so I just highlight, go to phoneme. Then you have been told that insert custom ID here. Just highlight, go there and click custom ID. Then thank you for your continued custom. Follow these rules. So the rules are letters to customers who have not paid their March bill should include. Those who have not cleared their March bill should include this one. So this one, because those who there are is a condition. So use the if you are making a choice. Control C. I copy that message. I go to rules here. I go to rules, if then else. So if I paste it, Control V, that is if what? If March paid, there was March paid here. If March paid is equal to a U, put a U, then that message. Else, I'm going to copy the other message. Just click OK first. You see it is almost disappearing. Just Control A. After you Control A, Shift F9, because I have not put the codes. Remember, if you wanted, you could have put the codes throughout so that you work on it. But because for me, I told you this one is easier for me, Shift F9, Shift F9, you might press twice. Shift F9, it appears. So that means I need to do away with this. I need to delete this one, delete because it's not needed here. So if else I'm supposed to have, you can format this so that you do unbold. You unbold this one, still bold. Good. So that go back to mailing. So that your letter should now have this Control C. Else it was you are all that. Else we should have in between there and those Control V. Else we should have this message. Then I don't need now this from here. I don't need the letter and all that and the message I've copied. I don't need it. I delete. So I've remained with that. Then I'm asked to insert. You could have gone to you could have shown the codes permanently until you finish or be doing what I'm doing. So I need to insert again. I need to insert again according to the question. So March field, insert amount owed for March here. So for March goes up to this point here. March goes up to that point. I'll go to insert, then merge sum. So you see it has almost disappeared. Still, you do the same thing. Control A, Shift F9, Shift F9 twice. The second time it will appear. So you can see insert amount odd April. The first one, it has been inserted. So you insert for April here. So you insert for April here. So you insert amount odd April, that is a sum of April odd. Still, it's almost Control A, Shift F9. You press twice so that it appears. March odd April, there is a full stop there, of course. There was a full stop, I deleted it. Your total bill, insert the total amount owed here. So you also need to insert it. Insert the total amount owed here. Up to that. You could have done the permanently the other one so that you don't get all the stress of doing shift and whatever F9 all the time. You could have done what I said, then at the end you do away, you remove it like I did. So then from here you just insert the total amount owed, total amount owed. So Control A, Shift F9 twice, F9, Shift F9. So the second time is when it appears. You can do once and then it appears. So I have done total amount owed. I can still you are inserting the same because you can copy by the way and paste. You can copy this one and paste here, but then just insert. There is no harm of inserting. So the same because it will be now for the total for April. So the total for April will be showing those for April only will be showing that same amount for April if they had not paid. If they had cleared for March, it is showing only April amount, which is the total for April. So you come here and still insert total for April. So Control A, Shift F9, Shift F9. So you can see the total amount for April is showing here. Then you are done. From there, you've been told to do what? To do here your candidate, insert your candidate name. I can call myself Dennis Ogeke. Of course, including your center, that is 1254, your center number and candidate ID. So after I'm done that, I'm done with the whole question. So, but there was condition for all this. It was supposed to show only those letters for those who have not paid. That's the first one. Those who have not paid April. So I was to filter here so that I finish. Edit recipient. I go to filter. I go to. I want to use. March paid. We were told that those who have not paid March. So March paid. I use equal to U only. The letters that are U capital that I used. Only those letters. There were 5. So it will show me only those letters for you, the 5 of them. And you can see 63, you add the 2, you get the total here. So if you finish here or you preview here 1, the second one, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no 6, there are only 5 letters. So I can finish, edit individual letters. I will be able to save these letters. Okay, then I'll have it and save as asked. The question asked me to save as what? To save as the letter to customers who have not paid their March bill should be that, and then you have been asked to do what? May match the letters to only those customers who have not paid their March bill, and it will be called March letters followed by your center number and the candidate number. So Control C. That's how you were supposed to save. Make sure you save exactly as asked. Exactly as asked. So we have the 5 letters here. So there are 5 of them. You can see this the second, third, fourth, and the fifth, which is the last one. So I go to save as, Control S. So here I give it exactly Control V, so that is 1254. That is the center. I save it inside there, save. Then I can close it. I'm now done. So the second one you are told, if I go here, this one I was told to save it. There is a name I was told to save it. I was given a name to save it, so I need to save it exactly how I was told. So the name I was given is F2 document as F2 merge document, followed by all that. Control C. You need also to save it exactly like you were told to save. So I need also to save. Control S or save as. Save as is the easiest because it was already saved. Save as, I need to save it inside here. Control V, 1254. Yes, so that is, you can now save it as a Word document. As a Word document, save. So you are done with that. I will again use it. For the next batch of letters, those who have a balance of 300 and above. So just the same letter. I can now go to edit. I go to filter so that I change this one. I use April. That is total amount for April. It's greater than. I'm using greater than. That's what you were told. Greater than 300. So you put 300 here. Then you click OK. So you click OK. So that means if I finish again, edit individual letters, I click OK, I'll be able to have another how many letters? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters again. So these are the people who have more than 300. This is one, you can see the total is more than 300. 2, the total is more than 300. That's 336. This one is 305. This 300.5. But if it was just 300, then this could not have appeared. But there is a 0.05, it appears, because I had put 2 decimal places. But if it's 1 decimal place, that one, then we could have 4 letters only. So you can see all that. Then if I save again, and I save the same way I've been told to save, I've been told to save them as April. That is Control C in this case, but you have to write and save it exactly like you've been told. So Control S, I Control V, 1254. So I save. That is it. Now you have the 5 letters and you have answered the question correctly. You have answered all the questions like you were asked to do. That is it. Thank you so much. And make sure you subscribe so that you can get more updates. Thank you and be pleasant.